Hi, my name is Diamond Gwaltney, and this is for EDU 208 Video Field Observation Paper 2. The best practice that I believe will become my favorite approach is culturally responsive teaching. Throughout this course, I learned that culture influences communication, behavior, learning styles, and student engagement. In the textbook, Diaz-Rico explains that culture serves as a framework through which students interpret their educational experiences. This idea was reinforced in the video Cultural Responsive Teaching and Learning, where the presenter explains that students learn more effectively when instruction reflects and values their cultural experiences. I also connected this idea to the student-teaching relationships cultural competency, which emphasizes that educators should recognize and honor the diversity students bring to the classroom. One reason I strongly support cultural responsive teaching is that it aligns with cultural difference theory. In the lecture notes, Models for Understanding Culture, it is explained that cultural difference theory argues that academic difficulties often occur when schools fail to recognize students' cultural backgrounds rather than because students lack ability. This perspective challenges deficit-based thinking and encourages educators to adapt instruction to students instead of expecting students to conform to a single cultural norm. Similarly, Diaz-Rico explains that effective educators develop cross-cultural awareness and build instruction around student strengths rather than perceived weaknesses. Because I plan to become a special education teacher, I believe cultural responsive teaching will help me create an inclusive classroom where students feel respected, valued, and capable of success. The best practice that I anticipate struggling to implement is developing comprehensive and consistent homeschool partnerships with every family. Although I strongly agree with the importance of family involvement, I recognize that maintaining meaningful communication with every family can be challenging due to differences in language, work schedules, transportation, and access to technology. However, in the textbook, Diaz-Rico emphasizes that families possess valuable cultural knowledge and should be viewed as educational partners rather than passive recipients of information. This idea was reinforced in the video Engaging Parents of English Language Learners, which explains that family engagement increases when schools create welcoming environments and communicate in culturally responsive ways. Even though I anticipate challenges with family engagement, I understand why this practice is recommended. The video demonstrates that schools achieve better outcomes when families feel respected and included in the educational process. Additionally, in the lecture notes, Culture in the Classroom, culture extends beyond the classroom and includes family values, beliefs, expectations, and experiences that influence student achievement. Therefore, effective homeschool partnerships help educators gain a deeper understanding of students' needs and backgrounds. While this may be difficult to implement consistently, it remains an important goal because strong partnerships contribute to greater equity and improve outcomes for English language learners. In conclusion, the two best practices I selected were culturally responsive teaching and homeschool partnerships. Culturally responsive teaching will likely become my primary instructional approach because it promotes equity, inclusion, and meaningful learning opportunities for diverse students. Homeschool partnerships are a practice I anticipate finding more difficult to implement consistently, but I recognize the value in supporting student success. Together, the textbook, lecture notes, and course videos demonstrate that effective educators must recognize culture as an asset and work collaboratively with families to create supportive learning environments for English language learners. Thank you.